Sometimes life puts you in moments where people look at you and they think they already know your limits. They judge your silence, your age, your calmness, and they think it means weakness. They think they can push you, intimidate you, or walk over you because they've mistaken your peace for fear. But every once in a while, they meet someone who reminds them that quiet people aren't empty. Quiet people are powerful. And the day a group of bikers tried to intimidate Clint Eastwood was one of those moments. What happened next wasn't just a story about strength. It was a lesson about character, wisdom, and the kind of power that doesn't need to be loud to be real. If you've ever been underestimated, if you've ever stayed calm while someone tried to provoke you, if you've ever held back even when you knew you could win, then stay with me, because this story is not just about him, it's about you, your strength, your dignity, and the way life changes when you understand who you truly are. Respect is earned through character, not intimidation. This means people may fear you when you try to dominate them, but fear is not the same as respect. Fear disappears as soon as the pressure is gone, but respect grows from how you consistently carry yourself. Character shows in the way you speak, the choices you make, the self-control you have, and how you treat people who can't give you anything in return. Respect builds quietly over time through actions that reveal who you truly are. When someone relies on threats, loudness, or force to get attention, it exposes insecurity, not authority. Intimidation creates distance, not admiration. People may step back, but not because they value you, only because they want to avoid conflict. The moment your power fades or your voice softens, their obedience fades too. Character, on the other hand, speaks even in silence. It's the strength that doesn't need to be performed, the confidence that doesn't need to be shouted, the integrity that shows up with or without an audience. When people see you handling pressure with patience, responding to disrespect with composure, making tough decisions with fairness, and staying true to your principles, they develop a deep trust. That trust becomes respect, and respect becomes influence. Character makes people follow you because they believe in you, not because they fear you. It attracts loyalty instead of resistance. It inspires instead of intimidating. It moves hearts instead of forcing hands. Intimidation might win for a moment, but character wins for a lifetime. You don't have to overpower others to earn their respect. You show who you are consistently, especially when it's difficult. That's when people look at you differently. That's when they acknowledge your strength, even if you never raise your voice. True strength comes from calm confidence, not loud aggression. When a person is truly strong, they don't feel the need to prove it every second. Their confidence is rooted in who they are, not in how others see them. Loud aggression is often a mask people wear to hide insecurity. They raise their voice because they don't trust their words. They flex their power because they're afraid of losing control. They act tough because they aren't sure they actually are. Real confidence doesn't work that way. Real confidence walks into a room without needing validation. It speaks softly but firmly because it knows its value. It doesn't rush to respond because patience is a strength. It doesn't panic in chaos because it understands that clarity comes from staying centered. When someone is calm, they think more clearly. They measure their reactions. They see the bigger picture. Aggression clouds judgment, but calmness sharpens it. Aggression escalates problems while confidence dissolves them. A calm person can diffuse a heated situation with a single steady look or a simple sentence because people feel the stability behind their presence. Loud aggression may intimidate for a moment, but it loses effectiveness as soon as someone stronger appears. Calm confidence lasts because it isn't built on comparison or competition. It doesn't need to dominate. It simply stands firm. People naturally trust and follow those who remain composed under pressure. They feel safer around someone who can take control without losing control. Calm confidence earns respect far more than raised voices or aggressive postures. It shows maturity, discipline, and emotional strength. The strongest individuals often carry a quiet power, a steadiness that speaks louder than any shout ever could. And in moments of conflict or challenge, it's this calm confidence, not aggression, that truly defines strength. People often misjudge others because they only see the outside. Most people make snap judgments based on appearance, age, clothing, or the expression someone wears at a particular moment. They don't look deeper, and they don't take time to understand the story, the struggles, or the strength a person carries within. Humans are naturally quick observers but slow understanders. We think we know someone by the way they walk, how quietly they speak, or how simply they dress. But what we see is only a fragment, not the full picture. A calm person might be carrying unimaginable courage. A quiet person might hold immense wisdom. An older person might have more strength and resilience than someone half their age. Yet people judge the book by the cover and forget the chapters of experience hidden inside. Misjudgment happens because people project their own assumptions. They think someone who doesn't fight back is weak, when in reality, restraint can be a sign of deep power. They assume someone who avoids conflict is afraid when they might simply value peace. They underestimate someone who stays silent, not realizing that silence is often the language of thinkers, observers, and people who don't need to prove themselves. And sometimes people mistake gentleness for vulnerability when it's actually controlled strength. This misjudgment leads to conflicts, misunderstandings, and disrespect that could be avoided if people look beyond the surface. Every person has a background, a skill set, a story, and a strength that can't be seen at a glance. Many of the strongest individuals don't show their power. They carry it quietly. Many of the most capable people don't need to announce their abilities. They demonstrate them only when necessary. When you take time to see beyond appearances, you realize how often you misread those around you. It's a reminder that real understanding begins where assumptions end. Experience and wisdom can disarm conflict faster than fists. A person who has lived through challenges, setbacks, and difficult moments understands that most confrontations aren't worth escalating. They've learned that reacting with force is easy, but controlling yourself takes maturity. When someone carries years of life experience, they can read a situation quickly. Body language, tone, intention, things younger or less experienced people often miss. They know when someone is acting out of insecurity, fear, or ego, and instead of responding with equal aggression, they choose a path that protects both their dignity and their peace. Wisdom teaches that winning isn't about overpowering someone, it's about preventing unnecessary damage. When conflict arises, an experienced person doesn't rush to swing or shout. They slow things down. They speak with clarity. They hold their ground without exploding. Their presence alone can settle tension because people can sense when someone has been through enough to stay steady. They understand what truly matters and what doesn't deserve energy. A wise person has nothing to prove, so they don't get pulled into petty battles. Instead, they guide the situation toward calm through their demeanor. Sometimes a single thoughtful sentence or a calm stare carries more weight than any punch or threat. Fists only solve problems for a moment, but wisdom prevents the problem from happening again. Physical force might shut someone up temporarily, but it rarely earns respect. On the other hand, thoughtful actions create understanding and diffuse anger. Experience shows a person the consequences of reacting without thinking, and that understanding makes them slower to anger but quicker to resolve. When someone with wisdom steps into a tense situation, they bring balance. Their reactions are rooted in perspective, not pride. And often that grounded presence is strong enough to stop conflict before it even begins. Great leaders stay composed even when surrounded by pressure. Leadership is not tested when everything is calm and easy. It is revealed when everything is chaotic, uncertain, or stressful. In those moments, people naturally look toward the person who seems steady, grounded, and unshaken. A true leader understands that their reaction sets the tone for everyone around them. If they panic, others panic. If they lose control, the situation spirals. But when they hold their composure, even when the pressure is heavy, they create a sense of stability that others can rely on. That calmness becomes a form of strength, stronger than shouting, stronger than fear, stronger than impulsive decisions. Composure is not the absence of stress. It is the choice to rise above it. A leader feels the weight but doesn't collapse under. They face problems head on, not with aggression, but with clarity. Pressure does not distort their judgment because they have trained themselves to breathe, observe, and think before reacting. They know that emotional responses often make situations worse, while steady decisions move things forward. The calm person in the room becomes the anchor, the one who can navigate the storm without getting lost in it. People trust leaders who can remain unfazed because that steadiness gives them confidence that things will be handled the right way. Composed leaders also understand that their influence is bigger than the moment. Every action is an example. Every reaction teaches others how to behave under stress. When someone models calmness, the environment begins to mirror that energy. Pressure becomes lighter. Teamwork becomes stronger, and solutions become clearer. True leadership isn't about showing strength through control or dominance, but through balance and emotional stability. By staying composed, a leader shows that strength doesn't always shout. Sometimes it stands quietly, guiding others with certainty. Choosing peace when you have the ability to fight is one of the highest forms of inner strength. Anyone can respond with anger when they feel threatened or disrespected, but it takes real power to pause, breathe, and choose a wiser response. When someone is capable of defending themselves physically, emotionally, or mentally, but still decides to stay calm, it shows they are in control of their emotions rather than being controlled by them. This restraint is not weakness, it is discipline. It means you understand the weight of your actions and the consequences that follow. Fighting may win a moment, but peace often wins the bigger picture. Many people confuse aggression with strength, but aggression usually comes from insecurity or fear. True strength comes from confidence and experience. People who are secure in who they are don't need to prove it through force. They don't let their ego drag them into unnecessary battles. Choosing peace means valuing your own stability over someone else's attempt to provoke you. It means recognizing that not every challenge deserves your energy and not every confrontation requires your involvement. Some people want to pull you into chaos simply because they live in it. When you choose peace, you choose not to step into their storm. There is also wisdom in knowing which battles matter and which don't. Walking away or de-escalating a situation doesn't mean you couldn't win. It means winning isn't the point. It shows maturity, patience, and a long-term mindset. People who choose peace often inspire others because they demonstrate how powerful self-control truly is. It takes far more courage to hold back than to lash out. And even in moments where conflict seems unavoidable, a peaceful approach can disarm hostility, earn respect, and prevent harm. Being capable of fighting is strength. Choosing not to fight is mastery. In the end, the entire lesson comes down to understanding who you are long before the world tries to judge you. Strength isn't found in shouting, intimidation, or proving yourself to people who don't matter. Strength lives in calmness, discipline, wisdom, and the ability to choose peace even when you have every reason to fight. People may misjudge you, underestimate you, or push you, but your response is what reveals your true character. When you stay steady in pressure, when you stand firm without aggression, and when you let your presence speak louder than your pride, you rise above the noise. That's where real power lives, not in fists, not in threats, but in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing exactly who you are. Let the world learn your strength through your actions, not your anger. Let them respect you because you carry yourself with dignity, not because you force them to fear you. True greatness is silent, steady, and undeniable. Thank you for listening, and may your journey ahead be filled with strength, clarity, and wisdom. Stay true to who you are. Stay calm in your storms, and may every challenge you face become a step towards your greatness. Good luck, and God bless you. Your best days are still ahead.